part of the
Okay,
bylaw.
I'd like to call tonight's meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order.
Oh, I got it, okay, yeah.
First thing I'd like to do is just ask for a moment of silence in remembrance of the victims of September 11th, and then we'll start. Okay, thank you for your consideration. We'll start out with a couple of old business and new items. We have two sets of meeting minutes from July 10th and August 14th. I would entertain a motion on the July 10th.
Motion to
minutes.
accept the July 10th, 2025 minutes of the Zoning Board of Appeals as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also entertain a motion on the August 14th meeting minutes.
I move we accept.
He said he accepts.
Motion to accept.
Motion accept. August 14th.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Nick, did we have any correspondence or anything we need to be concerned with this month?
No, you said that one thing on the third agenda item I sent to you all, just the neighbor concerns.
Yeah. Okay, and then we last got the 2026 CBA meeting schedule. I guess we have to approve that. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if we strictly have to, but get everyone on board with it.
Motion to approve the 2026 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting schedule as presented to us.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So, there was four other items on our agenda. The first and fourth items, there was an issue with
They didn't advertise in the paper,
advertising.
so we can't hold a hearing on them.
So we're going to have the middle two. The first is a petition of Abington Investments LLC for a special permit under 175-35 and a waiver of the environmental impact statement to construct a single-family home. The property is located at Lot 2 High Street on Assessor's Map 9, Lots 1 and 2 in the medium-density residential R30 zone. Please tell us who you are and your address.
Good evening. My name is Attorney Sean Riley of 500 Washington Street in Abington Center. I'm here representing the owner of the property, Abington Development LLC. And with me tonight is Glenn LaPointe Jr., the manager of the LLC, and the manager of Glen LaPointe Jr. is his father, Glen LaPointe Sr., in the rear, and the office manager, chief cook and bottle washer, is Autumn LaPointe, who's also sitting next to her grandfather. We are here tonight for a new house lot on High Street. It complies with zoning in every aspect. We're trying to do everything that we did any zoning relief. The only thing that came into play was the floodplain line, which I heard Nick just mention. It's, as you all know, it's a very vague line from off a 1970-something map, but we located as best we could. And the proposal is to build just a single-family house and to have a backyard. And it's only basically the second half, two-thirds of the backyard that are within the floodplain and wetland protection overlay district. That dotted dark blue line is the floodplain wetlands protection district. So we're really only looking at everything that's behind that. And if you notice it was topography, we're really not changing any topography there, but we would be loaming and seeding, putting grass in. So any sort of work past that blue line requires a special permit from you. And typically this special permit is intended to make sure that when there's not going to be any flooding of a neighbor because you're adjusting topography that might cause runoff to go more quickly to a neighbor or something like that. We're not filling any wetlands. We haven't gone to the Conservation Commission yet. That'll be our next meeting. But we're not filling any wetlands. It's just simply cleaning up that back area and making a yard out of it On the initial plans that we submitted to you, you can see two areas that were proposed underground infiltration systems, which was going to be roof drains. When it rains in the roof, goes in the gutters, goes down the pipes, and usually it's just let out on the ground and the ground just absorbs it. Or you can pipe it underground to these underground roof drains. We're actually going to propose with the Conservation Commission that we don't put those in, because that would be, we'd have to dig up part of the area that's within the 100-foot buffer to do that. I mentioned, Nick and I had some preliminary conversations about it, but that's an issue really more for the Conservation Commission, but I just want to let you know, the only thing that would be, what might not be built per this plan would be the underground infiltration system. But otherwise, and part of the 17535 also requires us to request a waiver of the, what they call the EIS, the Environmental Impact Statement. Typically, it's been waived for 1- and 2-family uses. It basically would require some sort of surveyor engineer to do an environmental report as to what sort of impacts or effects might be on abutting properties, as far as, if you're filling wetlands or polluting wetlands or creating any sort of drainage issues. And given the limited scope of this project and the fact that topography really is being changed minimally, if at all, I don't see the need or the need for the expense for such a report, because we're not really, in our opinion, and hope the board's opinion, affecting the environment with this proposed single-family house. So that's the long and short of it. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer you, but I think the plan pretty much speaks for itself.
The shed in the back corner,
Yeah.
does that belong to the existing, or is that going to belong to the new?
It belongs to the existing house. It will be moved onto the
It will be moved over onto the new
295
separated?
Ashton Street, correct.
Okay.
Is there a house there now?
At 295 Ashton Street, which you can see in the plan.
Yep, see
but
that.
The proposed house, no, is not there.
Okay. And these lots, excuse me, in these lots over here, do they have housing on them or not? Lot 1, Lot 2, oh, this is
Up in the back.
All this,
That's a part of the lots we're talking about.
part of what?
The lots we're talking about.
This right here is all one lot.
Oh,
you require-
2 is one lot, really? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
because you're required to have at least 30,000 square feet. So
Oh, wow,
that's the
yeah.
shape of the lot. We purchased some of that backland.
So Lot 1 is part of this?
This
Correct.
295.
Okay, all right, I see.
Yeah.
Well, big lots, yeah.
moving, going back to the shed, moving that shed onto the existing property,
Correct.
that's just going to be a pick up and move, no change to the topography at all, the
Right.
position of the,
It may be, we replace it with a new one, but it's
Well,
going
that's
to be
fine.
taken off of this property.
okay.
Tell you that.
The house is gonna basically be the same as neighborhood, right?
Same as neighborhood, yeah. I mean,
So,
it's a mixture of different designs, but it's a typical single-family house.
Okay.
Clarify me one more thing, please, Sean. I understand that the beyond the blue line is where we're talking about where the environmental impact would actually have something to say about
Exactly.
if we had to worry about it. You're just going to lay grass there, you're not going to change the topography at all, you're just going to,
Right, we're gonna clear that area, there's some,
Trees,
some
shrubs,
trees,
whatever,
stuff,
yeah.
right. Clear it out.
but that's simply just going to be a slope over a level grass, whatever you've come up with for that topography. You're not really going to go in and dig it up and move it or anything like
Correct.
that, right?
Correct, it's a very gentle slope now, it's gonna remain that same type of slope going then.
Gotcha.
It's just gonna be lawn area,
Gotcha.
typical to a single-family house.
So this part right here is completely surrounded by other properties, correct? The way I'm looking at it right here?
The lot plan maps.
Yeah.
So show
The
you.
assessor's map?
Yeah, the abutters, all the abutters.
So if you look at the assessor's map, you can see that larger lot in the middle.
Yeah, yep,
We bought the triangle part
okay,
and combined it with the 295 and then created these two lots.
all right.
Okay.
The owner of that larger lot retained the larger, which is mostly wetlands out back.
Yep.
She had purchased it from an auction from the town. I think she bought it sight unseen, to be honest with you. It's-
Okay.
One thing I'd want to point out too, the blue line they have on here, we
Yep.
actually have two different floodplain maps we use. One is the one Sean mentioned, the older hand-drawn one. That's the line they took. We also, by reference, use the FEMA flood maps, which would actually be a much less significant impact in this case.
And how old are those? FEMA.
This one's updated 2012.
Okay,
There's some in town that are more updated, but,
Yeah. So on that map, it's showing less of the.
yeah, the impact is more in between plot 3 and 4. It cuts kind of through them and then kind of straight back out.
Yeah.
So it would affect these lots, but it's not where they're building anything or touching
Okay.
anything.
Right, thank you. If we were altering land within the FEMA flood zone, it's a whole other level of scrutiny, but we're not anywhere near that.
Is the land currently subject to seasonal or periodic flooding?
Not to our knowledge, as I said, it's just right now, grass, trees, not a lot of trees, to be honest with you. But as you go out to the back, and you can see the wetlands line out way in the back, that's fed from other sources, really. I mean, there might be some small amount of runoff coming from the houses on High Street, but there is a, I believe it gets fed from a stream that's on the other side of 123.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate, you have to go to conservation next, and what are you gonna ask them?
Well, because we're within the 100-foot line, we also show on your plan the 100-foot
100-foot
buffer,
buffer.
which kind of cuts right through the house.
Right.
Right, yeah, the green one, yeah.
So anytime anyone wants to do any activity within the 100-foot buffer, it has to go to Conservation Commission.
Okay, just wanna make sure we're all aware of that, okay.
It's a weird chunk of land right there, like that.
It is.
That's
It's a lot of work, and, but it'll be a nice, single-family house on that area of the road where there's nothing right now.
Yep.
Any other questions for
Just-
Mr. Riley?
I'm not sure it's relevant to this, but on lot 1, Sean, the frontage is 104 feet?
That's the existing frontage, yeah. We went over that also.
What's the deal with that? Because it's a R30 zone and
It
it's...
is, but it's always, because frontage is measured, along the street, to the street corner, and then it turns. So if you have a corner lot,
Street corner.
you need to have frontage on each corner,
Right.
each side if you have a corner lot. This one has 104 on Ashland Street. We can't add to that because of where the other house lot is and where this corner is. We were required for the new lot to have at least 125 feet. That's why it goes at an angle with the intersection, just to comply.
199 is what you have.
Right.
The 104 is sufficient? But that's going to be, because you're subdividing this, or,
Yeah, it's a non-conforming frontage that we're not
Okay.
making more
Right, right,
non-conforming.
yeah.
However, what we are doing is enlarging the size of the lot by buying that
Yeah,
back
yeah.
land, so
Okay.
that becomes conforming.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's a good point.
I'm good, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I just don't want him coming back here for variance at some point, doesn't, you know.
No, and believe me, we looked at, should we get a variance for the High Street side, it's just
Yeah.
easier to do this. This is just for, the house at 295 Ashland Street is the house that got hit by a car twice, for those who are familiar with it. So, the points, they sold the house to that owner, get hit by a car, I think hit by a car, second time, the owner called back, said, we take the house back, we can't sleep at night. So they did, and they're putting some money in to fix the house, and then this opportunity came up to try to reconfigure. So it is just a special permit to do the backyard, essentially.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. Riley? Okay, is there anyone else in the audience who would like to come up and speak on this issue? I'd entertain a motion to close the public discussion part of
Motion
it.
to close the open.
Second.
All in favor? All right, discussion amongst us.
What seems to be, overworking the property, It's, they're just trying to find a way of putting a house in there.
Yeah.
Going by the old flood plans and everything. There's a lot of land there
Yeah.
that they could be developed, so.
Well, I personally like the fact that they got the other property out there so that, the lot becomes
Conforming.
conforming. And all they're gonna do is, clear some brush and a few trees and keep the slope. Seems pretty straightforward to me, that this is a good idea.
Somebody else?
Yep.
Is there any other discussion or questions?
No, I mean, the only thing I would add is for the special permit, you just need to find that the subject land is not subject to seasonal periodic flooding, and for the waiver, that the proposed use is to be minimal and that the technical data or plan is not necessary for consideration of the application. So you might just want to put that on the record.
Yeah. Well, would you mind forming a motion in that regard?
Oh, I'm not voting.
Oh, that's true.
Nice try, though.
I know, you guys with two on the end with the best capacity for that. Anyway, I would entertain a motion if there's no further discussion.
You got it? You got it? You got it.
Regarding a petition by Abington Investments LLC for a special permit under 175-35 and a waiver of EIS to construct a single-family home, the property located at Lot 2 High Street on Assessors Map 9, Lots 1 and 2 in the medium-density residential zone. The clarification is that the property is actually Lot 2, not Lot 1 and 2, right?
Right, it's only like,
Am I correct there? Because in the reading of the lot, we have mentions lots 1 and 2, and we're only talking about Lot 2.
You're right.
correct.
Am I missing something, Mr. Chairman?
No, I don't think so. I think
I
that's...
just want to make clarification that we are speaking of Lot 2 only. We're not including Lot 1 in any change or dynamic on the bill.
It's not, lot 2 is the vacant lot.
Okay, in the medium-density zone, and as long as it follows the subject reasonable conditions and safeguards as proposed in the request, I propose that we approve this waiver and the special permit.
Second? Or do you want to add the...
Oh, yeah, and the board
what's-
having found that the subject land is not, or that, the subject land is not in fact subject to seasonal or periodic flooding, and that the proposed use is to be minimal, and that the technical data or plan and the environmental impact statement is not necessary for consideration in the application.
So submitted.
With that said, I second.
So we're, as motion and as...
Add two in a second.
Addition and second, all in favor?
Aye. Good luck.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. The other item on our agenda is the petition of, I apologize, I butcher names, but Sri Umia LLC for special permits under 175-21 H2 and H5 to allow for open lot storage of transport trailers and commercial goods and materials. The property is located at 336 Washington Street on Assessors Map 16, Lot 9 in the general commercial zone. Let us know who you are and...
Good evening, my name is Attorney Sean Riley of 500 Washington Street, Abington Center. I'm here representing the applicant, the owner of the property, Sri Umia LLC, which is Raj Patel, who is sitting here in the front row. Mr. Patel is the principal of the LLC. All I'm going to say is son Smith is right here in the nice shirt anyhow. Who's up behind him? Who's my favorite? That's Ravi and Naresh.
And that is my brother.
Yeah, Naresh is his brother. And then Alex Gomes from Brito Landscaping. Alex is in the back there. Sorry. We are here to request a special permit. It's just like at the wrong angle. Thank you, sir. We're here to request a special permit to allow Brito Landscape, to allow under 175-21 H2 and 5, you need to have a special permit for the outdoor storage of commercial materials or the outdoor storage of transport trailers. This is in the general commercial zoning district, it's a business zoning district. I think most of you are familiar with it, but it's the Route 18 Superstore property on Route 18 down towards Whitman. Previously, it was Stone's Video. Previously, it was Kavicki Supermarket way back in the day. Before that, it was D'Amato Supermarket, so it's always been a commercial property there. Brito Landscaping has been there on the property. There's an open area, open paved area in the back left, which is the southwest part of the property. As you know, the building is kind of tight up in the corner on the right. There's the gasoline pumps up towards Route 18, then there's the open area out back. Brito Landscaping has been actually leasing that property for more than 5 or 6 years. They've been there running the property, parking their equipment, storing mulch or gravel as they go. They've grown over the years, and apparently, I'm learning as I'm going here, an issue came up most recently where, with the humidity of the summer and all, they had some grass clippings and leaf debris, and they came back and they piled some up, and it was left there to the point where it started to smell. As I understand it, and Mr. Jenks, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there was a complaint from a neighbor about the smell, so Nick contacted the owner, said, can you do something about it? And it was gone that day. But in doing so, Nick also looked at the big picture and said, you know what, technically in a general commercial zone, you should have a special permit if you're gonna store, you can run a landscaping business in a general commercial, but if you're gonna store materials or store trailers, you need a special permit. So then they came to me and I said, yeah, he's right, as he normally is, and we have to apply for a special permit. I understand that this property is also bounded by a lot of residential neighbors, many of whom are here today. And I bumped into Nick this morning at the September 11th memorial ceremony, and he had told me he had received some complaints from some of the neighbors, and I'm just kind of learning on some of these things, so I apologize if I'm not up to speed with a lot of them. But I am here to listen to them, as is Raj and his family. It is a business that is proud to be in Abington and will do what it needs to be done to qualify for the special permit and remain in Abington. Both the business owner, Alex, and Raj, as the owner and tenant. And Alex is the owner of the landscaping company. There are some issues that I'm sure the neighbors would like to talk about, and I'm sure a lot of them are legitimate concerns, so I'd like to learn about them. I've heard about some of them. I only had a brief conversation with these guys right before we got here, so I don't know the whole story history. The special permit basically would be allowed if you're not gonna overflow water or sewer or drainage, which it doesn't affect because we're not addressing any of that. If you're not gonna increase the volume of traffic on the street, which, you know, substantially to cause a traffic hazard, we're not doing that. But, you know, on its face, it would look like it's a relatively straightforward special permit. But in deference to the neighbors, I think to use our time wisely tonight, I would like to step back and let them talk, because I would like to learn what it is the concerns are. I know, like I said, Nick summarized a few. I don't feel comfortable moving forward unless I know what they are and what we can try to resolve. So if that works for you, I'd like to step aside and let's hear what the issues are, and then we can go from there. Is that all right with you?
It's fine with me. Any other discussion about that, guys?
There's one question.
Sure.
So you tell me that for 5 years, they've had a business without a special permit?
Right.
And what other parking is that being used for?
What other parking, the back area?
Yep.
There's a small, up front, like as you enter, that back area kind of goes down.
Yep,
if you
I know
there.
well, yeah.
The first couple of spaces on that left, Mia Ragazza will sometimes have some of their employees park there, because they had a parking issue apparently, it became
Yeah, I
a
can see
popular
that, yeah.
restaurant. So they park there.
Is that it? Is there any other
No, other than that, it's
storage
all Brito landscape.
besides the landscaping? There's parking from the restaurant and that, okay.
Yeah, because the business itself, which is a retail store, and the gas station has parking on the, let's call it the upper level. There's some employee parking, there's some couple extra spaces where they can park down at that lower level, but most of the upper level parking is plenty, all you need. But
Is there anything there that says, I'm asking you actually, about that area for parking for anything?
I mean, it's
Do
just,
they need permits for parking the restaurant cars there, or is there anything that says you can only have so many vehicles on that property?
the parking, I don't think there's any limit on how many vehicles, it's so much, how many parking spots are required for the business. I haven't run the numbers on what that would be. I mean,
No, you're just bringing it up.
generally a retail store, it's not too high of a number. But I haven't run the numbers.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just bringing that out, that's all.
Yeah,
in the existing retail store and gas station, I think Jim Stone was the one who put the gas pumps in a number of years ago. I looked it up today, so Kavicki, D'Amato sold to Kavicki Supermarkets in 1956, Kavicki sold to Stone in 1992, and Stone sold to Mr. Patel's company in 2004. So the retail store and the gas pumps have kind of been in place. Well,
Yeah.
they were in place when he bought it in 2004, but even before that, the site lighting was in place. We haven't changed any of that either. And in fact, Alex, the owner of Brito's, lives across the street on the other side of Route 18. So to your point, no, other than Brito and a couple of spots from Mia Ragazza, that's an unused area. To me, I remember when I was a kid, when it was Kavicki's supermarket, and before that, D'Amato supermarket. If you go up back, you see it's like a loading dock. So it's my assumption that that's where all the trucks would back into to stock the grocery stores. But it's not used so much for that.
Yeah,
reason.
right.
Well, occasionally, there is some trucks that come to stock the grocery store down there. But as far as, there's plenty of parking on this property.
Okay, besides, I just thought I'd bring that up, that's all.
Were there any other questions for Mr. Riley before we let someone else come up and address this?
No, sir.
All right, well, if anyone from the audience would like to come up, just please let us know your name and address and what your concerns are.
My name's John Trott, 23 King Street. Actually was nervous at first when I saw Sean, and I like what you said. Dialogue is the key to this whole thing. Something we haven't had for a while. This is just the neighbors, in case they didn't come. I got 6. There's probably some minutia in there. I didn't know what 175-2 and 175-5 were, so I printed them, but Sean seems to let us know what they are. Bear with me with talking, I'm in the middle of dental work and I got no choppers. Okay, so 7521 H2 and H5. Can you tell the residents what that is, or?
What do you want to?
I don't have a reference book with you.
So, H2,
Yeah.
open lot storage of registered transport vehicles and trailers.
Special permit required.
H5, open lot storage of goods and materials used in connection with a commercial or industrial use.
Okay, so storage of just trailers, right? No goods, no,
Transport vehicles and trailers is H2, so
and also too, I'm gonna try to remain on point, but address Sean's points too. That grass situation is not as singly, it's not just a single type thing, it's habitual, it happens all the time. Number one, too, I understand we're operating business, and I know that Brito works hard and stuff like that, but some things just don't fit in there. And one of the things is the transfer of these grass clippings. They have the best intentions, but it doesn't happen. It's a god-awful stench, okay? And we have tenants, that's why they're here, that's why they're spending the time. And also, I don't even know what should be back there. I printed this, I don't know if it's a zone map, a floodplain map.
that's the
See the
wetlands
yellow-
overlay
see the
district.
yellow highlight? That's the lot we're talking about. The wetlands come right in there, okay? I better get on point, but that was just a reference point. That was something that was highly contested when that gas station went in there. These were heated discussions when that gas station went in there, okay? Back and forth, and we were given certain assurances that we feel we were slighted. We don't know if they were recorded, but it was just been, a promise in the night, and who knows if it happened. But I have 3 minutes right here, I'll read them, and then open it up to everyone else. Raj, I always had a great rapport with him, not as much with the younger guy, I'm sorry. Hopefully we'll go forward, it'll be better. But, number one, our hope here is to solve this neighbor, go forward with everyone adhering to previous town mandates, and hopefully this will increase the dialogue between the neighbors and the store. The history, the late 70s, early 80s, Kavicki's Market was in there. They had a problem with just running their trucks, they would warm them up in the morning. The solution was to build an actual border fence, okay? They were sure to put arborvitaes in there, they put these ponderosa pines that grew up, what? Raj had nothing to do with it, except for having to take them down. They were, 75 feet in the air, those pines that you just had to drop recently. So they put the wrong trees in there, okay, which led to future problems, okay? The gas station went in the early 2000s with conditions. It was highly contested with the neighborhood. I hope it's documented with the town. The final condition was no business to go on the back lot because of that town aquifer. You know, the water runs right across. The water runs through the basements as high up as 15 King Street, okay? It comes down across Vernon and just sweeps down the backside of those Vernon houses, cuts across to 15, dives down, and then goes right down into Strawberry Valley and gets over to that Walnut Street station. If there's a mishap there, it could be catastrophic, okay? So we're just trying to mitigate damage and adhere to policies that these people spent the time years ago, okay? And it seems like we're fighting the same battle. We have nothing against business back there. I'm a little off point, but if you wanted to park cars all back there, I'd be all for that, you know, because you're not going to have a catastrophic event. And I don't think, you know what I'm saying, with the cars, you might have some oil leaking out of a bad car or something like that, but nothing with the potential that's going on now. Like I said, it was a great relationship in the early on. In the early 2000s, the trash became a problem. I remember dealing with the individuals. I felt the lack of respect, whether that's just what I felt, I removed myself. Those incorrect trees that we talked about, they led to all these numerous scab deciduous trees. All those trees that are there right now don't even belong there. And again, this isn't something that Raj did. He inherited when he moved, when he took over that business. But these deciduous trees are running through the fence. They go into King Street. They actually get into a lane of traffic. Every 5 years, the DPW was out there trimming them all back. Those same trees, I'm picking up leaves year round. Because, and I know you can't call anyone out for the leaves, but what happens is they drop, there's no one there to pick them up, and they get kicked up with all the windstorm. I collect everything. So there's 15, 23, and 29. We collect
Stay a
everything.
little closer. Just near the mic. I get yelled at by the cable guys all the time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're all good.
Okay. When leasing began in the parking lot with the Mia Ragazza individuals, we didn't complain. There were small problems, but again, these got a good group of neighbors. It was kids getting done with their shifts, standing around their cars, being just a little too loud. We talked to the kids, we talked to Mia Ragazza, boom, problem solved. The landscape company comes in. 1 truck, 2 trucks, 3 trucks, 4 trucks. That was a full-blown yard. Great company, great bunch of guys, okay? But I just don't know if that place is for them. The noise, the dust fumes, the odors, they continued through the summer. So if there was a cease and desist on dropping clippings, it didn't happen, okay? We have pictures, but again, I want to keep this neighborly. We tried early on to talk with the landscape company, but they seem to deal with the landlord, and that's the relationship it should be, so it may be, but there's a real disconnect between us directly with the landscape company, you know. I mentioned neighborly earlier. Irony here is a lot of the discrepancies that we're talking about, okay? Before Britta was even there, before Raj was even there, there are landscaping issues. I would love to go down there with Sean, Nick, Raj, Alex, and walk through there and show them. I've been wanting to do this. You can feel the passion in me right now. I've been wanting to do this for years. My wife, my neighbors, okay? I told you I removed myself 10 years ago because that passion would have got me in trouble 10 years ago, okay? So I said no, and now they've been fighting it individually. Every one of those has gone to someone to complain, whether it was Raj, whether it was Alex, whether it was the public health, you know, everyone. There's been issues, okay, and they just haven't been heard. We haven't dealt with you collectively either. And all we're asking is for the town to give us our due diligence. Do the things that we were agreed upon. Research and implement previously agreed upon mandates. Second, fix the fence, remove the deciduous trees, repair the fence, remove the fence that was someone else's trash. As far as the current application, with this earlier documented behavior, how can we expect them to adhere to policy? You say it's just a store material, but they maintain that material there. They pressure wash their vehicles. They're welded. I mean, and this is something they need to do. So again, if we're gonna continue this, I like what Sean said at the beginning. There's just almost too much new information coming out here tonight to make a decision. I would love to get together with everyone, and if we can go forward with somehow Britta being in there in a limited fashion, I would go for that, okay? Even if it's like what do they call it, yeah, just, you know, where you store real quick, you know, but right now, it's not just a drop-off yard, it is a full-blown construction site. Okay, and the reason we can't have these materials coming in is because of that town aquifer and the wetlands. We don't, it's unregulated waste, we don't know what's in it, okay? You start putting it on the ground, it leaches into the ground. We just don't know, okay? Again, these are things, then maybe we can find a way to fix that. Maybe there's some containers that they can purchase and go up by that loading dock that Sean was talking about. Get it away from the town aquifer, because right now, those couple Miavagazza cars, okay, are all down this line there. Britta, they're doing well, they got a lot of stuff. They're right where the aquifer comes in. And that's why I love to walk and show people this, have the map with Nikki, show them what I've witnessed and experienced. I am right across the street. And I wish they would have approached us. One of the things, I'm a retired CSL license holder. You know, anytime I went to go pull a permit, especially if I anticipated a problem, you sought the people out. It's so much easier to deal with stuff out there than it is in here. You know, so I feel that tonight, the best thing we can do is continuance, try to get the parties together, see how we can go forward. I have tried to find the minutes from when the gas station went in. I didn't find the Okabicki's one, which is back early 80s and stuff like that. But we could really, this could be a good thing tonight. We could get that national border fence built. There's a couple examples, you've seen them. You've seen those border fences, okay? If done right, they work fantastic, okay? A nice border fence down there would probably buffer all the noise, it would cover, might even take care of some of the smell. It would work as a natural filter, okay? I just think we need a continuance. We have to go circle the wagons, see how we can go forward, whether Britta can go in, and you guys may determine, you may just say, no, they can't, because of like what I'm making you aware of with these wetlands and stuff like that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, questions?
Did you say they were doing repairs?
Yeah, well, as is understood, you know, you're out there, you're running a bobcat all day, you hit a bolt, boom, you get back to the yard, weld that sucker up, so when you go to work the next day, you don't have a busted bobcat. I totally understand, but there may have to be another area for them to do that work, or to move that work further up front. Move the work further up front and have it more contained, maybe with a warehouse shed, these, you know, just, there's gotta be a way to go forward. I'd like it to be with Britta still being able to be there, but I want us to adhere to policy. Is the boss standing behind me?
Yeah.
And what'd you say about wetlands too?
Well, where's that thing that I gave?
Oh,
This one?
This is just a blow up, that one there. The yellow is the piece of property in question, okay? And this is where all of the materials are being stored. See that line there? That's really where the aquifer goes, okay? Like, did I overhear you talking earlier, Sean, about old lines and stuff like that? And some wetlands have grown, some have shrunken and stuff like that, but it's just so close. It's right there that we have to guard ourselves against possible, really bad.
Are you looking at the floodplain map right now?
I believe they are, yeah. That's
That's
what it looks like to me.
yeah, floodplain, wetland
Yeah,
from, through the year.
Overlay district, yep.
That's what it looks like to me. That's how that map looks. I can grab a big copy of it downstairs if you
Well,
guys
it's
think that
just
would
an
help.
interesting thing to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting that, I mean, maybe it was okayed years ago, I don't know.
Well, that's, can I interject?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's what happened when the gas station went in there. It was all pointed out. And the insurance, and again, whether it was a promise in the dark, okay, whether it was written down, I can't find the minutes, I tried. They said we won't put anything in the back. Okay?
Yeah,
So, but, and like I said, when me and Ragazza started parking back there, no one really complained because we understood it.
Yeah, business, yeah,
Business
yeah.
is business. You know, we're not gonna nitpick.
yep.
Neighborly. If we can just keep that theme, it's gonna make this so much easier. I'll talk to the cows come home. I wanna get her up here right now, unless you have a question.
I have
Yeah.
just to clarify, some of the things you mentioned, there's the grass clipping
Yeah.
issue that came up, but the natural border is a big concern of yours because it's not what you thought it
Yes,
was.
yes.
Right, that's
Yeah.
one. Hours of operation, are they operating late in your,
They can, again, is it an annoyance? Yes. Do we have understandings? To some degree, yes. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they're coming back from a big party either, you know what I'm saying? And they just they have to work late. Do they start early sometimes? Yes. Do they work sometimes on Sunday? Yes. These are all things that we've dealt with, okay? And now, this is the first, this is our first opportunity to be heard.
okay?
We have for so many years tried to talk to people, and we've gotten this and stuff like that. And sometimes there's been people that are a little too passionate, that didn't help themselves and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I was just wondering if they had many accidents pulling out of there too, the company.
No, I don't think, I can't think of a single accident. Alex, that you've had, well, I don't know who Alex is.
With the tree, the landscape company.
I don't know. Yeah,
Have you had multiple accidents driving out with your equipment?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What, quick question,
Yeah.
landscaping, so is it just spring,
No,
summer, fall, what are they doing in winter?
hey, landscaping's gone to new heights. They do hardscape, they do everything.
Now, what about winter though?
Towing?
Winter,
I mean,
you're right.
plowing?
I'm sorry.
Plowing?
They do snow removal now. too.
Okay, all right.
We cannot bring snow there, you know that. I mean, that's a no-no in town, you know, they search out those lots to drop that snow. You never have any,
Have you seen that? That there's
in
any-
town?
No,
Oh,
no.
no, it's just all of a sudden I got a mental picture of one of the pictures I took the
Yeah.
other day, and it just said, you know, snow removal, you know? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
So they have plow trucks there through the winter?
Yeah, through the winter, they got a big DC, they got a big front loader, that's why, I mean, the audience, boom, boom, boom.
Do they have fuel storage? I'm just shooting
I
that
would
out there.
imagine, you got too many
I
vehicles.
mean, there's a gas station right there.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if there is
As far
a
as
fuel.
hazmat signs, you know, so this, and I don't want this, you know what I'm saying? I want to correct the problem, take care of these days, especially Kathy. Her place is like right on top. She won't admit it, but I can imagine how many tenants she's lost. They're on the corner of Vernon and King Streets. They are directly on top of it. They really, I mean, now with that Airbnb weeds go crazy on you and stuff like that. It's just, there's certain things that have to be done, even if they don't stay, but I'd like to work it amicably, you know, if we can, but it can't continue the way it is. There's certain activities that will have to be curtailed, and that's for you guys to decide, or we think that help something too.
Any other questions for him?
Thank you.
Right now, thank you so much for your time and passion about this.
No, thank you. I mean, you re-instilled a little bit, if I get the right decision. You've re-instilled.
Please let us know your name and address.
Hi, my name's Denise Trott. I also live at 23 King Street. I don't have a prepared statement, but I just wanted to say that unfortunately I am not as amicable as my husband John, who just spoke. I would like to say that I am totally opposed to Brito being in the back lot. When we had meetings for the gas station, one of the stipulations was that that back lot would remain empty and be a barrier. That being said, I came to Town Hall a couple of months ago and actually met with the town manager with multiple issues regarding the back lot, Brito's, and the store in general. And when I met with the town manager, I let him know that I had all kinds of pictures and videos, that I had done a historical, so I wasn't just saying things, that I had video and picture evidence. I also wrote a multi-page letter. I believe you have a copy right there. I don't know who else has it. Okay,
Very well
so the town manager did tell me that I could put those pictures, because I wasn't sure how to get those to him, on a thumb drive. And my husband brought the thumb drives down. He gave it to a few people here at Town Hall, and then I was told you guys aren't able to put the thumb drives into your computers. So I'm working on another method to get those to you. So the grass clippings, as awful as they smelled, and Brito said that they forgot that they were there on the truck. They forgot multiple times. So you can take my letter as an impact statement, not just for myself, but for the multiple neighbors that are sitting here now. And we live the closest to the store. I actually live the exact closest. I am the blue house directly behind your store and your lot. Some of those videos show at 4:48 in the morning that they are starting up, the guys are yelling, they're screaming. My bedroom is at the back of my home. I hate to say that, because now you know where my bedroom is. But the backing up, the beeping, the screaming, the trucks, it's not, I feel they don't want to just store equipment there. This is construction-size equipment, also in the videos. I mean, you'd see them doing construction on the highway, building homes, building huge buildings. And the most recent videos that I have is Saturday, trucks backing up to that fence in front of my house, lifting, dumping, and then here comes another truck pushing and building more on that pile and burying it. There are videos of them dumping mattresses, white plastic chairs, trash, like they emptied apartments, and burying it. There are videos showing landscaping, plowing, snow removal, the sand, trucks coming in at all hours of the night to plow. In my letter, it states how when you plow your own lot, Raj, they don't start till 3 o'clock in the morning. And we listen to that go back and forth, back and forth. You cut down all those arborvitae trees that were a barrier for her home, and then you asked her to contribute, to pay for the removal, so she could look at that ugly wall of the back of your building. When you clean your parking lot, and there's video, you use industrial-size leaf blowers, and the dust cloud, I know it probably sounds minuscule, but if you were to look, if you went on Vernon Street, the little lot, at, like kind of behind the store, and looked a side view, it looks like a tornado. It is brown, huge dust, covers the front of our houses, our cars, our walkways, and God only knows what's in there. Fuel, oil, the little oil things you use for your power tools for landscaping, rat feces, mouse feces. I have pictures of rats on the desk. What else? I had asked John to bring a copy of the letter. I don't have it with me. But, I mean, this is impacting our lives in a very negative way. We, for many years, attempted to work with Raj. He would go to the store. He would say, oh, yeah, I'll take care of it. You'd give him some time. It would not be addressed. You'd go back to the store. Oh, yeah, he wasn't as enthusiastic. Then you'd go back the next time, talk to my son. Then the son, not so much. Then you'd go back, and the last time you would go, they would speak in a language you didn't understand. They would laugh, they would chuckle, shame you, and humiliate you out of the store. Then neighbor number 2 would take over. So then Stephen would try. Well, I'll go over and talk to them. There would be the honeymoon phase, then the phase, and then next. And some of the neighbors that aren't here, they're like, I'll take over, I'll go try. So we really did try to work with the store, to form a good relationship. You know, we all do things in the community, have done things in the community, try to be productive for this community. We've lived here a long time. We like our community, you know, a lot of us love our community. I raised my kids in this community. These folks have raised their kids in this community. So I know my husband's trying to be positive. I tried to be positive for a very long time, but this has actually worn me down because it has just been such a negative experience, and they have not been receptive on the other end trying to work with us. So if anybody would like a copy of the letter, I really wish you could have looked at the thumb drive. I am still working on another modality to get you those pictures and videos. I call it the revenge fence. That is a real thing. They put this wooden fence up. It's all mixed mass pieces. It falls down sometimes. There's trees growing through it, over it, trash between it. There's pictures of trash all over my yard, you know, and leaves all over my yard. I don't have trees on my front yard. You know what I mean? We like to keep our property nice, and the street's just not as appealing or as nice as it was when we bought. And that's all I have to say. I don't know if you have any questions.
Anybody have questions?
How long has that revenge fence been there?
When did you put the fence up? I can look at the pictures and find out the exact date, but they actually put the fence up because they were tired of me videoing. They would see me videoing, so the day they put it up, they gave me little waves as they put the fence up.
I'll just take them back from the file, too.
So you don't know how long it's been there?
I can get the date. I can look at the pictures, because the pictures will have dates on them. I'm gonna say a couple years, but I can get you the exact date because I have the pictures and the videos.
The dumping issue that you
Yeah,
said.
if you wanted to look at my phone, I can show you on my phone. From
but you said that-
Saturday.
You said they're bringing stuff in and burying that with,
Yeah,
with fill, are they burying?
the last time was Saturday.
Well,
This Saturday that just
was
passed.
it trash and then burying trash? Is
I
that
can't
what
see
you're saying?
exactly what was in the truck. God only knows, but I do have pictures previously of they dumped the dump truck and then shoot. Yes. All those pictures are on a thumb drive.
A moment.
Yeah, if you could, it would be helpful if you could get the pictures to us. That would be.
Yeah, I did
mean, if
provide them on the thumb drive, but you
Yeah,
guys
I-
can't do the thumb drive, so.
I'm not allowed to put
Yeah,
a outside
I
drive into the
understand.
town computer.
Yep. So
We
I
can
did
sit, we
call-
can sit down and work on a way, maybe even with the IT guy, to try to get them to me. Because I can actually get, if the board wanted to see it, videos and stuff on that
Yeah, I
screen
think-
at a meeting.
I think,
Yeah, I
we
actually
just gotta
called
figure out how to get
Apple. I'm trying to get Apple to help me so that I can compress them. Remember I
email
said
it,
I was
yeah.
having trouble compressing them?
Yeah.
On the thing, to get them all compressed so I can send them in an email. So hopefully you'll be able to open an email and be able to view them.
Yeah, and then
Because I think they're worth
disperse it,
viewing.
and if they want one up on the screen, we could get it there.
Yeah, so in order to give me time to do that, I would ask that you don't make a final decision this evening and give me time to do that, but I am actively working on it and did provide the thumb drives.
great, thanks.
Thank you very much for taking the time to tell us what your concerns were. If there's no more questions, I'll ask, somebody raised their hand back there, maybe you could come up and, Mr.
No, you have to come up to the mic, sir. Up to the mic? Up to the mic? You have to go up to the...
If you have something-
If you have something to say, come up to the mic.
Okay, so let us know your name and address.
My name is Kathy Burton, and my husband and I years ago bought Paul D'Amato's house. That's how long I've been in the area. We also had a similar problem with the Kavicki store, where we ended up getting 180 people sign a petition. That was what we had to do to have them stop. What they were doing is they were bringing vehicles in very late at night, and they were idling, and it was going, that's how close my house is, it was going into our house at 2, 3 in the morning. I had 3 small children, they were getting sick. Okay, that was back then. What's going on now is I have a nice relationship with Raj. I like him. He's a nice man. But I have a serious problem with the smell. It's terrible. It goes right into my house. It blows in. It's terrible. To say nothing of how it looks. I'm very high up. I go on the second floor. I also have an apartment that I'm in the process of renting, that if I go out, all you see is a mess. It's not nice. The trees need to be trimmed. Everything that John had said and his wife has said it's just me repeating it. I'm not going to come up here and repeat everything that they just said. And they're very truthful, and that is what is going on. We have a serious problem with rats in our neighborhood. Oh my God. I've been living in this town all these years, and never in my life have I ever had a problem with rats, and so have my neighbors. And I am very particular how I keep my house. When I had the problem with Kavicki's, it was very well taken care of. We had 180 people come. They understood the problem, and the problem was solved. My town solved my problem. I did not have sick children. I didn't have to run around and close the windows and not let the fume come in my house. And they were stood by the people of Vernon Street and King Street, and they were great. Now, I know times change, and nothing stays the same, but it's a nice town. I've lived in Abington a long time, and my taxes keep going up, and I don't move because I like Abington. But I got to tell you, you guys got to do better for my neighborhood. You really do. I don't have a problem with this store. The man is a nice man, but he doesn't live on the neighborhood like we do. So I want you to please take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else like to come up and speak?
Hi, I'm Liz Holbrook. I live on 3 King Street. I recognize some of these faces because I'm involved in the town. I volunteer for the town. I'm at the compost center, one of the few volunteers we have. I know I've seen Mr. Manning up there and other people. I do town elections. I work down in the treasurer's office as a volunteer to do tax payments. I don't have the patience other people here have. I have gone with my concerns early on when Raj was there. He's very nice. He's very nice. He's very pleasant to talk to. And he says, yeah, oh, I'll take care of that. But it's not taken care of. Or it's taken care of, and then 2 days later, the same problem is taken up again there. I have fallen on the sidewalk beside the store recently. It's not kept in good condition at all. I have to echo Kathy's that I have lived there for almost 50 years in that house. I have, been involved in the town. My kids came here. We like our neighborhood. We have a wonderful neighbors on Vernon Street, on King Street. There, we don't have disagreements like some neighborhoods do. Because I'm in the town, in town hall quite a bit, with Board of Health and the treasurer's office, I have gone to town officials there and asked for help with the problems. Chris has gone down and talked to them about the, leaves that they can't keep, grass clippings there. I work at the compost center. I'm there for 5 hours. I smell that compost there. I don't want to come home after working 5 hours, go out in my yard, not be able to open my windows and everything because there is this stench. And if anybody's had fresh mulch, that stinks too there, and it attracts rats. I never have ever had a rat problem, a rodent problem. We've had people drive down the street and stop when they see us out in the yard and they say, do you realize how many rats there are here? I come home, I work at night, I come home at 11, a little after 11, and there are rats running from there across the street. It's not a good situation to live in. We just ask that, something be done. I appreciate you listening to us.
Thank you.
Anybody have questions for her before you let it go? I have one question. How long has the rodent problem persisted?
Has the what?
rodents, the rats, in
A few years.
a few years.
Yeah, yeah. I've gone out and, had to hire a professional there to come in and eradicate them. Kathy's had some costs, due to the thing. It's expensive, and our taxes are expensive, especially for us older citizens here who, it's very limited. There, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience before Sean comes back up?
Hi, I'm Steve Doyle, 29 King Street. I just want to reinforce what everybody else has said so far. The smell is just outrageous. I mean, I'd rather have my windows open during the summer instead of the air conditioner on. And, when they've got stuff over there, you can't do it. It's terrible. The other stuff that they're bringing in, dumping, they're doing this hardscape stuff. I mean, it's almost turning the place into a transfer station. They come in, they dump it, stays there for a few days, and then they come and pick it up again. But really, my biggest complaint is probably the noise. I'm up at 5:30 in the morning, and they're dumping over there then. I don't know if you ever heard a dump truck, and then when that tailgate hits the back of that truck, that's a pretty loud noise. And it's, it's startling, and it's just wrong. These people haven't done anything to help us. They've done nothing. They talk a great game, but I'm really not on John's side here. They don't belong here. This is not a good use for this property to have a landscape company there. You should come down and spend a weekend, hang out, see all the rats. First time in 30 years I ever saw a rat was when these people moved in and started bringing their stuff in. It's terrible. And I really hope, I urge the board to vote against this special permit, because we need your help. We need you to protect us from what they're doing to that neighborhood. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for him?
No. I really advise someone from the company come up here and speak.
Well, should we take any other people from the?
Well, is everyone else set?
Okay.
Motion to, you want to close the open?
Well,
Well, I want to hear what the company's got to
he
say.
said he was going to come back and talk to us, so.
I represent the company and the owner, and I appreciate what the neighbors just said, and I thank you because you're very well spoken, and I took a lot of notes. And some of these things I think not only have to be addressed, but can be addressed. Some of these things I don't know enough about that I'm going to have to sit down with one or two neighbors and the owner and the Mr. Brito and see what we can address. It's business zoned, but it's next to a residence. And I talk to my clients like, yes, you have a right to run a business in a business zone, but when you're abutting residential neighbors, it changes the game. You need to appease the neighbors as much as possible, and I will work with them to do so. As I said to you when I started, I found out today that there was a lot more going on than I knew about, so I didn't feel comfortable moving forward. Mr. Trott kind of took the wind out of my sails because I was going to ask for a continuance. He already suggested it. I think that's appropriate, and to give us the 30 days to try to sit down and see what can be done. Whether it's the fencing, the tree trimming, the smell issue was kind of said many a time. And I don't know what can be done, if everything can be done or what, but I'd like to have the opportunity, so that if this does move forward, that the neighbors feel that things are addressed and we can put conditions on the special permit and things like that. I will say, Mr. Brito was trying to stand up, he said the delivery last Saturday was loam, so what she saw was a truck putting loam and then the machine pushing the loam into the bin. But I don't want to get into this or that, and there's more to say that, and perhaps we can meet out on the site and talk it, and if Nick wants to join us, we can try to coordinate that, or maybe it's just myself and the owners and neighbors. We can work it out. But I'm not here to try to push anything through you or through the neighbors, because I know that the board's not going to let that happen. But I think it would be helpful, and I think there is an opening for cooperation, legitimate, and I also know that you've been scorned before where you felt like you asked for things and things didn't happen. Well, I'll do my best to try to make things happen, and if it doesn't happen, the way I read the crowd, I don't think they're going to grant the special permit. So I've just asked the board if we can continue this, give us an opportunity, and we come back and report and see if we've made some strides to try to satisfy some of the conditions that are required for the special permit.
Couple of questions. Has anyone done any research to know what the town required of people to do back when this was, first done? And it sounds like the early 2000s when the gas station went in.
I looked up online to see what documents were recorded, if there was any sort of prior zoning decisions, and there wasn't any. But prior to really the mid-70s, 80s, decisions didn't have to get recorded at the Registry of Deeds. So I'll have to do some research at the building department's historical files to see. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Mr. Stone who got the permits for the gas station. Is that right? And that's what they were alluding to. I wasn't part of that, so I don't know. And I don't know what the records show on that.
Wouldn't it be the selectmen who would have
It
approved the
could be
gas?
planning board.
I think what they're talking about is the site plan
Was it selectmen?
through
I
planning
think the
board.
selectmen have to grant their license or approval for it.
Mr. Strutz and the selectmen were also involved with it too. Because they probably,
They said that would stay empty.
yeah, because the selectmen may have had to grant an underground storage license at that time, back in the day. But this planning board was probably also involved. So we'll just see what records are back there. But even if we don't find the records, we still have issues now, today, that need to be addressed. So I'll do.
But if what they said is accurate,
Oh, yeah, if there's a restriction,
there's a restriction, then,
then, yeah, I need to know about that.
right.
Right?
Well, it sounds like, at the very least, a continuance would be something that all the parties here seem to think we need some time to do.
Do you think we should bring it back to the board?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that, do you think that because the issues are very significant, that this is more of a mediation issue?
Well, I think that, obviously, Bristol Landscaper would like to stay in town. They'd like to keep the business in town. But the neighbors have every right to speak about the issues that they spoke about. I will mention rats are throughout the town. I think you've heard about it. Yeah, it's not just, right, and it's not just here.
I'm in the Board of Health, right?
Like, there you go. I have it around the corner from my office. I'm paying for rat prevention too. It's an issue everywhere, not just Abington, for anyone watching at home. It's around a lot of other towns. And whoever can design something that gets rid of them is gonna be very wealthy. But I would like at least to try. I have a business in Abington, and if I can, I've been before this board many times. If I can help and make it work, great. And if I fail, then I think I know how you're gonna vote.
Okay, do we have any other questions for Mr. Riley? And does anyone else have anything to add to the public discussion before we close it to the public?
I would like,
I wouldn't close it.
yeah, I wouldn't close it, no.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's
Does anyone
what I was
else
gonna
have
But
anything
I
to
would,
say?
if we're gonna continue it, I would
Yeah.
continue
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
My fault, yeah, you're right.
Steve Doyle, 29 King Street again. I understand what Mr. Riley's trying to do here, but I'm sure you also can deny this permit tonight, and I'd just like to see you do that.
I'd like to say something. I'd like to say thank you to the neighbors. And I don't appreciate people laughing in the back there when people are coming up to talk. This is a serious issue, and this is your business. You are not taking care of your neighborhood. Your business and your neighborhood, very important. You're coming here for a permit. So to be laughing in the back when people step up here, that's not gonna get you anywhere.
Can I speak?
Mr. McDowell, would you like to speak? You want to?
Yeah,
Please
Rakesh
let us know your name
Patel,
and address, sir.
yeah, Rakesh Patel, 336 Washington Street, Abington. I think whatever the laughing situation, I don't remember, and if you want, you can talk with any 1,000 customer, or I can give you in writing how we behave in the store. Maybe some misunderstand they have because of sometime my employees speak different language and they speak English with the customer. But on my knowledge or from my heart, we never speak to the customer as a laughing. That's my question.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick, and then I'll sit down. One thing I heard you say, and you said everyone was looking for continuance. I'm the only one that's looking, these guys were all looking to get them out of there. And I understand their frustration, because like, go back to the beginning, I removed myself from this for 10 years. You're looking at the 10 years of frustration over there, you're looking at someone that just jumped in. So if anyone carries more weight, and if you should be listening to more people, it's those people, not me.
Okay, you're right, Andy, we should not close it to public discussion if we're gonna continue it.
Right.
I'd like to vote tonight on it myself, really. That's
Well,
what
I
I
think-
feel. I feel that they have abused the neighborhood long enough, and they're running a business without a permit to store. I mean, only reason why they're here tonight is because the neighborhood has stepped up and said, we've had enough. We have dealt with these people for all these years, and we have had enough. And now they're coming in for a permit, because they need a permit. I mean, I agree with the neighborhood that we should vote on it tonight. And I know what my vote is gonna be, because the display that we have in front of us is ridiculous. This is a neighborhood of people you're doing this to.
Can I respond to that just in deference? I told my clients that I was not going to try to defend them tonight and have a back and forth, for the sole purpose of, a lot of these issues came up to me about 3 hours ago, or actually this morning. So I'm not saying that what they say is not true, but I want to go look at some of these things and see what can be addressed. There was talk about replacing the fence out back. I think we
But I
can-
do understand, but I'm listening to them, and they're telling us that they've already gone through all that process with the owner. They've already gone through all that. They've already talked to the owner. Each individual house has talked to the owner, and this is where they're at. And if you call this, if you call this solution, you call this what the people have brought before us today, it's not acceptable for a business to be doing what they're
I
doing.
agree that as it's put on the table right now, there are substantial issues that have to be addressed. I'm just asking you, in having this business has been down for a while, to have the opportunity to try to address them and come back to you, to continue the hearing. Everyone can come back, and they can all tell me that Riley's full of hot air, you guys should deny it.
But you do see what I see, right? You see these Abington residents coming up and showing you pictures, videos, whatever.
I do.
And now you're coming in for a permit they should have had 5 years ago. And you want us, they want us to give them a permit after they've been acting like this for the last 5 years? Or 10 years, or whatever it's been?
The fact that the special permit was not issued previously was not because of, they did that intentionally. It was not known to be necessary, and nor did the...
Come on, not known to be
And
necessary.
nor did the town of Abington zoning enforcement come and say that you need a permit during the last
And the
5 to
neighbors
10 years.
complained, that's why we're here.
Yes, but there was...
And they're asking for a permit because the neighbors complained. Right.
This zoning enforcement officer
Right.
picked up on the fact that we should get one for for the storage of trailers and the storage of materials, right? They could actually, like I said, they could run a landscaping business out there as long as they don't store things and store trailers, but they'd like to do that because part and parcel of the business. So we'd like to try to figure out, can it be done moving forward? 30 days, I don't think is an unreasonable request, and if we fail, we fail, but if we succeed, it helps everybody.
But it seems like, on the other end, they've already tried this. It's already failed. They're in front of us telling us, this has already failed. They've already gone to these people and asked them and showed them. That's where we're at.
It is, and Rich, I think it's more reasonable to allow the opportunity to try to work it out. I mean, you did hear some of the neighbors just say that personally, they know Raj and he's a nice guy. They also have said that others have not been backed up their words. So let's try to get rid of that issue. Let's try to make something work. Let's have some physical demonstrated improvements before we get back here in 30 days. And we can also have any sort of written agreements of things that shall be done or shall be a condition for a special permit. And if it's not enough, it's not enough. But 30 days, I don't think is unreasonable to shut down a business that's been in operation for a number of years here in town. Just an opportunity.
I think, my point, I'm inclined to want to grant the continuance, only because I don't think we have enough information about what was, any conditions that were put on by whatever authority in town back in the day. And I don't want to see the board be taken to court over this issue if we don't have the facts. And I agree with you that this is outrageous. And I don't know how it got to this point. It should not move forward until those issues are addressed fully. So I personally think that we should grant the continuance for right now, and whether they're due that based on the conditions that exist on the property, we can argue about that all night, but I don't see the problem in having a shot at for 30 days myself.
Right.
You know,
Just for a side note, I will not be at the next meeting, so
okay,
just to let you know.
yeah. So, do you need to have any other discussion before we take motions on continuance or anything?
I have just one quick request to the neighbors. June 23rd is when I did the cease and desist after I heard about this. Was very specific in there about storing any kind of waste, grass clippings especially, because that was the main point of concern given to me. I don't know if there's been any storage since then, but if there is any waste dump, leaves, grass clippings, anything like that, if this is continued 30 days, call me. I'll come out immediately, photograph it, and make sure the board's aware of it. My reading of the bylaw, even if this was approved, what they're asking for, does not permit them to store waste. Mulch, loam, block, stuff like that does fit. Grass clippings does not. We don't have anything in town that permits you to store waste. So please call me, let me know. It seems like the board would take it seriously if they heard this continues. So
So you wish to issue a cease and desist order?
that's how this started, yeah.
Can you get us a copy of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a cease and desist, told them to either stop or apply to go before the board, get things straightened out. Made it clear in that the grass clippings would never be allowed.
So
Yes.
a couple of things, if you guys are going to continue it, a couple of things, I would ask if Mr. Riley can do that research and see what may have been permitted or not permitted back then. And if you could provide us with copies of the photos and the videos for the
Yep.
next meeting, that would be very helpful, I
I
think.
can have them here next week. I don't know how you want me to send them or get them to you, but
If you can get them my email, that would be the best
to
thing.
you and you
If you
can
really,
disperse them?
yeah.
Okay.
And then, I mean, they can get up on the
Yeah,
screen
then
if
they
that's,
can-
if
you
that's
can
what the board
Oh,
wants.
absolutely.
If we end up still having trouble, maybe we'll sit down with the town. Town has an IT guy. Maybe he can help figure out how
Yeah.
to make that connection.
Yep, nope, Apple says they can help me and just.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So Denise Trott, 23 King Street. I was just raising my hand. I just had a question. You said, I didn't hear the last part of what you said, what could be stored? Grass clippings and leaves or no, but block or something? What did you say could be
So
stored?
it's goods and materials, which I would personally consider like the mulch, the loom, block, stuff like that to be materials being used for the business.
Can be stored.
If this was
If
granted.
this was granted.
If this was granted.
Oh, okay.
The waste, like grass clippings, leaves, things like that, we don't have, this board doesn't have anything to grant that would allow that.
Right. It's
Okay.
specifically excluded, I would think, based on what you're saying.
Yeah, I certainly would consider it to be excluded. It's
Okay.
waste.
And during the cease and desist, what can be stored there?
During the cease and desist, I told them that I would pause enforcement. So the cease and, I'm not throwing the business out. Throwing a small business out is something I take seriously. They made the effort of applying to have this public hearing, to allow everyone to speak before the board and the board to make a decision on it. So as far as my enforcement goes, the business can keep functioning as normal. The waste is nothing that would never be allowed, cannot be stored at any point. Again, the early mornings, late nights, stuff like that, is our town Board of Health's, noise regulations. That can never happen either. So they're supposed to be operating as if these were approved until this is made for a decision.
Okay. Can I ask what their hours of operation can be?
I can look at let me pull the noise regs for you.
Who enforces that specific for the?
Board of Health.
Yeah, the Board of Health enforces noise regs.
The reg.
Starting of the trucks.
I'm not shy if somebody brings a noise reg issue to
smell.
me, but
Yeah.
They also require the
it's
smell.
technically Board of Health.
I was on there.
Yeah, because I have videos, like I did the clock.
Yeah.
and it's not even 5 in the morning, and they have,
That's certainly outside the realm of them.
That's why
This
those
is being
videos would be
also-
helpful.
oh, yeah,
for the
I'm gonna
record
get,
as well.
oh, I'd be more than happy to get them.
Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
We'll leave the meeting open.
What's that?
We'll leave the meeting
We'll
open.
leave this item open, and then the applicant has requested a continuance, and we have to decide whether to allow
I
that.
just want to answer her question real quick.
Go right ahead.
Abington's daytime hours, 7 AM to 6 PM on weekdays, 9 AM to 6 PM Saturday, Sunday, legal holidays.
What's the weekends?
It's 9 AM to 6 PM.
And that's noise, it's not business hours.
That is noise, yeah, so the dump truck, stuff like that, there's a good chance it's over it.
Back to the yard with the machines.
So like they can't be starting their leaf blowers and warming up equipment?
Yeah, it gets
and
into decibel levels, but if it's, sniffling louder than the general noise in the area, it's kind of the,
Yeah, in Massachusetts, trucks can't idle for longer than 10 minutes, correct?
I'm not familiar with that rule.
But there is an idle law. There
I'm
is
sorry?
there is an idle law in
Yes,
Massachusetts.
there is, yep.
Yeah, I'm not familiar
I'm
with it,
familiar with it.
very well might be.
Thank you.
So, in order to vote on whether to grant the continuance, do we need a majority, or,
Yeah, just a majority.
okay. I would entertain a motion to grant the continuance,
You mean everyone?
No, just the three of you.
and we can vote on it. That's,
Regarding the petition for Sherry Umama LLC for a special permit under 17521 H2 and H5 to allow for an open lot storage and transportation and commercial goods and materials. The property is located at 336 Washington Street, assesses map 16, lots 9, in the general commercial GC zone. I would request that we grant the 30-day extension of this application without, what's that word again?
Prejudice? No.
Broad prejudice, correct?
Don't need it.
You don't need it? Okay. And that we come back in 30 days to discuss where the public has gone.
You should continue it to the next meeting.
Continue next
Continue to the
meeting.
next meeting,
Whatever that date is.
whatever that
Next
date will
meeting.
be.
That would be October 9th.
And she
I'd
should
ask
have
that we
time.
do 7:03.
Yeah, so you should.
October 9th at 7:03.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do I have a second from anyone on the, or otherwise I'll second it.
Yep.
All in favor of granting the continuance?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Rest abstaining? I guess by a majority of the things, we will grant the continuance.
Good luck.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Please talk.
We will do our best.
Thank you for coming
I would
out.
entertain a motion
Motion
to,
to close the meeting.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.